Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Melissa Grewar is a spiritual engineer who helps people, including business owners, to see their path in life. She says to make networking cost-effective, look for meetings where you're going to get fed, as well as learn something useful. This week's episode is kindly sponsored by the Empowered Extend podcast. Listen out for more information later in the show. Thank you very much for being my guest on the podcast today, Melissa.
Thank you for inviting us.
Now, you're described as a spiritual engineer, which sounds fascinating, and we're going to dig into that in a minute. But I wanted to know about your background first, Melissa. What is your background? What's your training been, and where have you come from?
Well, going back, I've been a bit of a jack of all trades, but it was in 2020 when COVID happened and everybody was kind of doing their own thing. But I thought I'd use those, I think it was around about 10 months we're in lockdown, and I decided I was going to do some training into spiritualism. And it's taken it from there, really. You know, I didn't waste any time doing it. I went through a spiritual awakening. I asked for advice, spiritually sort of thing, and then I seen some half-price discounted courses on Facebook, and I started from there. And it's kind of led us on to a more intuitive path.
Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to business as well.
Yeah.
So I help other people kind of find their way in business or in any aspect of their life.
Yeah. Okay. Fascinating. I think you'd done some, you'd worked in fitness and personal training before, hadn't you?
Yeah, I did that for about 20 years. My body's not thanking us for it now. But this is the thing though. Like we get told that we need to do certain things, and then it's later on when we realise, when we start reflecting on things, that it wasn't the right way of doing stuff. So I think particularly round about what's happening in the world now is that we're learning to do things differently in any aspect of life, really. So it's quite interesting what's actually going on and how we can change our lives for the better, whether it's physically or in business, spiritually, you know, in any aspect.
Yeah. So what was it that brought you to this realisation?
Well, it's a bit of a delicate area. It was kind of my friend who I was managing with at the time in the business of the gym, and her daughter-in-law had sadly lost a daughter during pregnancy, and that's when I started feeling things, and I wanted to help other people. So I didn't realise I was already doing that when I was at the gym. We spent more time helping people understand what was going on in their lives and how it was affecting their workouts and stuff, because we were a ladies only gym.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything else comes first and you always come last. You know, we wanted to change that. And that's when I realised that I need to do more with this.
Yeah. So tell me about the business that you founded then. What's it called?
The business I found now is in Us We Trust CIC, and what its intention is to help people feel as though that they're allowed to be an individual, but they're also allowed to be part of a community as well. And at the minute, we're not doing any of those things. We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to find a place in the world, become part of something, but still being that individual who has unique talents in many different ways.
So how did you come to that name, In Us We Trust?
It was strange because a couple of friends of mine have been trying to get us to do different things in spiritualism, and but I think the first one I had was Ickle Pixie Oracles, which was really a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
So then I changed it to the Selenite Sword, and my friend had said, "Is that really the thing that you want to be calling yourself?" I thought, "Well, I can't think of anything else." And then when I started writing my book, and I just thought, this is not right, what I'm calling it, the Selenite Sword. It needs to be something else. And I think this is about us. We need to learn to trust in us. And then it was a film. I think it's a Miracle on 39th Street or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And the thing that got everybody believing in Santa was "In God We Trust" on this dollar bill. And I thought, what about "In Us We Trust"? If we
Ah,
trust in ourselves, it doesn't matter about religion, it's not about that. But it's like if we learn to trust in ourselves, then we can make better decisions.
yeah,
It's only in hindsight when we don't make them better decisions.
yeah. And how did you get your title of spiritual engineer?
Well, that was that was another book, and it was called, I think, it was called the spiritualist engineer or something like that. It was something on them lines. And I thought, well, what I'm doing, I'm working with the spiritual side of things without all the woo-woo. But I can also see the logical side of things. So that's how I came about that. Seeing both sides of the coin and me being in the middle, like on that side piece of that coin and bringing both aspects together.
Yeah. So tell me about how you help people. What do you do for them?
One of the main things I do is listen. That's the one thing that we really should be doing. We get a lot of people who talk, we get a lot of people who observe, but either way, we need to listen as well to what people are saying or how we are thinking. So I work on the precipice that I know who they are from the origin, from their first ever past life. And whoever they were from that past life, it's kind of taking it to where we are now. It doesn't matter about the bits in between because we just learn things. And you can learn a lot from that. So when they understand their purpose in life, then they can use certain tools of that first life in this one, and they can eliminate all the doubts that they have. When you look at people and they act a certain way, it's why are they acting like that? What is their responses? What's their reactions? So I take all these different aspects in and I just tell them a story about themselves. I use tarot cards or angel oracle cards and stuff. And I just tell them a story and it just kind of makes sense to them.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see the realization in somebody when you've listened to what they've been through and then all of a sudden everything that they've done makes complete sense to them and they find their path, they find their purpose, and that they're just away.
Yeah. So who is it that you're helping? Is it just women? Is it men and women?
It's men and women, it's anybody really, anybody who's open to listening about themselves, wanting to make some changes. At the moment, a lot of people are looking for answers, and normally I'm the person who is the last resort, which is I don't really particularly like. I don't want to be that dredge at the bottom of the barrel. I know that's going to come along and save you type of thing. But it's anybody who's open to a different perspective.
Yeah. So tell me about how you work with people then. If someone comes to you for the first time, what's the first step? What do you do with them?
Um, Generally, I just get my cards out and I just start telling them a story, and then it kind of progresses from there. It's amazing how people just suddenly open up and they tell you your life story. They tell them you tell them everything that was going on in their lives because they've been triggered into something. For instance, I'm just going to pull a random card here, right? And the card I've got is the Six of Swords. The Swords is all about communication, and that's what we're doing here,
Yeah.
right? And it's all about moving away from that negativity to something more positive. And it's finding that middle ground is why you're moving away from something negative to something positive. And when you understand that, then you know your path is clear. There's no obstacles because you learn to trust in yourself. And people just feel that they can trust in me. And they'll sometimes say, I don't even know why I told you that. And this could be in the middle of Asda. I've gone shopping and people have just asked us a random thing, and then all of a sudden they start opening up to all sorts of different things, and they just say, I don't know why I told you that. I'm really sorry. I said, don't apologise. You just needed to get it out, and
Yeah.
you've done it.
Yeah.
And I give them a little bit of advice, and then off they go.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, but I enjoy it.
Now, I know you've developed a 12-month program, haven't you? So who is this for and what does it cover?
So the 12-month program is based off my book, In Us We Trust. And again, it's about finding yourself, the answers within yourself. So there's not that much information in there, but there's a lot of questions in there which get you to kind of think about things in a different way, that you're allowed to think about things. We think too much and we do too little. We procrastinate so much.
Yeah.
We start doubting ourselves. Can we really do this? Of course you can. You can do anything you want within reason that it's legal, for one, and it's not going to offend anybody else. But the book itself and the course, between the two of them, it's just, again, it's a different way of doing something. We've got disruptors out there all over, and if it wasn't for these disruptors, nothing would change. But we have to change. We have to change the way that we're doing things. We follow other leaders from the past. Nothing has changed because we keep reiterating the same stuff over and over and over again without putting anything of ourselves in. So once we start looking at different aspects of how to do things, that's when we grow. That's when we learn. That's how we move on.
So what was it that made you to decide to write the book?
Well, it was one of my very good friends, John Mills, and he showed us ChatGTP. And I was like really against this. I was like, no, this is going to take people's jobs away. All those usual things that people think about AI at the moment. And he just said, right, put all this stuff in about you. So he did. And it just come up with this biography of who I was. And it was like in seconds. I was really quite shocked how good this was. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, from all that, let's see if you can create a 12-month program. And it did it. It gave us a total like 12 months, then bi-weekly, and all the information I needed to put in. And when I started working on this, I thought, this isn't a course, this is a book. So it went from there. That's how I got the idea, and it just kind of evolved naturally. And then it's gone all the way back to the beginning again, where it's become an online course.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange how it's all worked out.
So tell me about some of the resources that sit on your website, that you've got like some guided meditations on there and so on.
Yeah, they're very short meditations. A lot of people think that you should be meditating for 30 minutes or so, but we haven't got time. We're rushing around doing all sorts of different things. And these are just like 6 minutes where you can just sit in the moment, allow yourself to wander a little bit, and then become more grounded again. And you feel as though that you've had a really good night's sleep. You feel like you've got a lot more energy. Other things is manifestation as well. And it's using the moon's energy. I mean, the moon affects the way the seas flow, so it affects our energy as well. And it's not manifestation where you're wanting, I don't know, like to win the lottery or something like that. It's just manifesting opportunities your way. It's learning to trust in who you are and what you desire, and how to not manifest negative things as well.
Yeah.
There's loads of little bits and pieces on there that's it's not woo-woo, that's the thing. I want to try and get away from all of that perception that what you need to believe in is the future. What you need to believe in is where you're present now.
Yeah.
That whatever you do in the moment is going to create this amazing future for you.
Yeah. Our sponsors this week are the Empowered Extend podcast, where the team talk openly about poo, sex and disability. Yeah, the real stuff that too many people shy away from. This podcast is there to break taboos, spark conversations and inspire change together. Join the team on Empowered Extend to amplify voices, smash stigmas and create space for every story. Find Empowered Extend wherever you listen to your podcasts, or give them a follow on Facebook. So what kinds of results have people seen after they've been working with you?
To tell you the truth, I rarely see people afterwards, and I just know that they're absolutely all right. A few people have said, like, they've got back to us and said that, I wish I'd listened to you the first time round. I've done exactly what you asked us not to do, and I got my fingers burned, but now I've followed what you've said, and I feel absolutely great. I'm doing amazing things. There's a few people who have got back in touch with us and have said that they've followed the path that they went on, and they've progressed. They've found love, they've found better jobs, they're in better homes, they're just in a better space altogether. And it's just eliminating things from the past by understanding it.
Yeah.
I love to help people find that path, but nobody's going to come and save you. You have to save yourself.
Yeah.
It's just being made aware of it, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when we spoke before we did this recording, you told me that you would love to hire a theatre. Tell me about why you want to hire a theatre.
Oh, well, I've always liked the theatre. I'm not that keen on TV or cinema. Not there's anything wrong with it. It's just I like the idea of sitting in a group of people and being absorbed by the energies of different types of entertainment. I mean,
Mm.
X Factor, that kind of got that idea and put it on like the old vaudeville theatres
Hmm.
and put that through television. But for a different type of entertainment anyway. But I want this theatre to bring back vaudeville again.
Mm.
Cinema, I think it's a dying thing now. I think we've had enough of that. We want to be able to stream stuff. We want to be able to watch things wherever we're at, on our tablets or laptops and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and phones. But theatre, it's all about that communication with people. It's
Yeah.
all about that community. So the theatre itself, I wanted to do it where I was going to bring in a load of individuals who were really, really good at that one thing that they can do. So it's helping people who are neurodivergent.
Hmm.
So that, if you had, I don't know, let's for example, if you had OCD and you just cleaned everything all the time,
Mm.
then you would employ somebody like that could clean, all the toilets and the theatre itself, and they would do a cracking job and they would do it in less time than somebody that didn't want to do it.
Hmm.
If you had somebody that was really good at technology, which I am totally not good at, they could do all the lighting. They could have everything set up on a laptop and then they just do it all for you. It's employing people who have a great talent, who are kind of not in the right job.
Mm.
I wanted to do something like that, but then bring entertainment in as well. So there was different types of things for children in schools. There was going to be stuff for people in business, and then general entertainment on an evening. So I wanted to have as many different things going on, but employing the right people
Mm.
who could make that happen.
Yeah, that's a great dream. So I hope you get there. So
I do.
let's chat a bit about networking now. Then, how do you like
Mm.
to network?
I'll be all honest. I hate it. But it's because I've done 3 years of networking now,
Hmm.
and back when I was in the gym, we had done a networking event. I think it was in Newcastle in a hotel, and it was a women only thing. And it was one of those breakfast ones where you pay £10 and
Hmm.
you just sit around this table. And I found it really intimidating. I don't know what it was about. I can't really remember because it was about 20 years ago we had done this. And I just didn't like it. The environment didn't feel right. People weren't really talking about their businesses. They were talking about their families and kids and stuff. And I thought, hold on a minute, they were supposed to be here for business. And I had this idea that I was going to stand up and do this talk, which I did, but nobody seemed interested.
Mm.
I thought, why am I putting myself through this? So that was like the ground, and I wasn't going to grow from that at all. And then I met Sarah Mills, and she took me under her wing and mentored us. And it's just like networking is totally different from her perspective and what she showed us of it.
Hmm.
You've got to be in the right environment for what you want to learn and what you need from people. I mean, it depends on where you go. If you're in places where it's very academic and you're not in that way, if you're very creative, then you're going to feel very much out of place.
Hmm.
But I've been to some ones where like you just go in your normal clothes, it's not very stuffy. You just be who you are, and they're the places that really changed me. When it comes to networking, I did enjoy talking to people about things I did, and the way I broke my ground instead of like saying, "Oh, well, this is what I do," because people get scared by it.
Mm.
I'm a psychic medium. Oh, right, okay, and that you can feel the energy backing off. So I used to say I'm a psychic medium, and I help people understand where they need to go in life and any decision particularly when it comes to business. So I used to take a pack of tarot cards with us, like little angel ones, and I always give them a reading. It used to
Yeah.
take us 10 minutes to do, and it broke that ice, and I got a lot of contacts from them. And it's if to me, if you have something that's small and unique, rather than just saying, "Oh, I have my own business in IT and I do this, this, and this." People don't understand. Sometimes people want to see what you do.
Yeah.
So if you can show them that, I think that's a good icebreaker for networking.
Yeah. So what have you got from networking?
I've learned a lot of what you shouldn't do. Because everybody tries to sell you stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, that's the whole point of networking, isn't it? That you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
But to me, I think if you can do this exchange of service, because not everybody, when they're starting businesses, particularly as well, not everybody can afford services.
Yeah.
I think Barclays had advertised this a few years back, and the advertising quickly went down as soon as it went up. That if you can exchange your services without money, then the world can grow from it.
Mm.
And that kind of stayed in my head, and I thought, right, I'm going to do this. So I learned a lot by saying, well, look, I can't afford to do to give you what you need for what you do, but I can help you maneuver this, this, and this if you do this exchange with us. And that kind of really worked for us.
Mm.
I learned a lot from that, different aspects of what I need to do online for advertising, marketing, for designing things and stuff. So it worked really well.
Yeah. And networking can be quite expensive too, can't it?
It can be, yes. Now, at the time when I first started doing this as a business, because I'd gone from markets to being at home and doing it full time properly, I ended up going on universal credit, and they
Mhm.
did this support thing where they would support you financially. And what I learned that even though I was only getting support financially, I wasn't being supported like as an education.
Mm.
You know, like the DWP wouldn't say that you need to go on this program or that program. Sarah took us to different places where they had these programs. But then I clicked on that that if you were hungry, go to the places that actually have some food. And it was a great way. I mean, I've told a few people this, and it actually worked for them. So the money that you would spend on food at home, you could go for your breakfast somewhere and meet different people. Then you could go for your lunch or another network meeting, and then for your tea. Sometimes there was even alcohol, if that's the thing that gets you going. But that's how I got through it. I spent an entire year and a half just networking and getting fed. It was great. I learned so, so much from it.
Yeah, that's a good way to make networking cost effective, isn't it?
Really, really, particularly in the age that we're living in now, where
Yeah.
everything's really expensive and stuff. Some people have the money to be able to do that. So if you can go to the right networking event, do your research, find out what's going to be on there, if it's relevant to you. Because if it's not relevant, to me, it's not about just like you never know who you're going to meet. It's like you need to get something where you're going to gain something from it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't waste time.
Yeah, definitely. So one last question for you then, Melissa. If people want to know
Yeah.
more about you and your business, what's the best place for them to find you?
At the moment, I think the best place is probably on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. But I've also got my website as well, which is www.industrytrust.co.uk. And get in touch with us through there because of the emails on there, and there's some great free stuff. But they're probably the best places at the moment. I'm at
Wonderful.
the very beginning. I'm at the very beginning of what I want to do. So I'm just allowing myself to organically grow.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing you grow. Thank you very much for being my guest this morning, Melissa.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.